Welcome back. In this segment, we're going to look at a third example of a proof by induction. We're going to prove this theorem that says for all integers n greater than or equal to 0, 3 evenly divides this quantity. Remember, this just means that this quantity is a multiple of 3. So we're going to write a proof by induction of this theorem. The induction is on n. And notice the theorem has the right form. It says for all elements of the set of non-negative integers, then here we have P of n. It's a property that depends on n. So let's record that. Now n is a free variable in that expression, so let's replace n by the first element in the set. Now notice in this case the first element in the set is 0, not 1. So the basis step will have to use P of 0. What is P of 0? Well, it's whatever you get by replacing n by 0 in this expression, namely this one. And then we're going to need P of n plus 1. So let's write it down as well. Recall that our proof by induction must start with a subproof called the basis step, where we have to prove P of 0. To prove P of 0, we're just going to compute the value of this expression and then check that it is evenly divisible by 3. So this expression is equal to 10 plus 1 is 12, and 3 evenly divides 12. Therefore, we're done with the proof of the basis step. Now the second subproof is the inductive step. This is where we assume that P of n is true, and we prove that P of n plus 1 is also true for an arbitrary value of n. So let's assume that P of n is true, and n in this expression is an arbitrary non-negative integer n. Here, be careful, you can't say n is an arbitrary positive integer because the domain on which we want to prove the theorem includes 0, and the positive integers do not include 0. So you want to make sure here that n is an arbitrary element of the domain, and the domain here is all the non-negative integers. Okay, so this is what we call our inductive hypothesis. Let's use it right away to infer that then this expression is a multiple of 3. So we're going to write it as 3 times k for some integer k. And now all we have to do is to prove P of n minus 1. So the first step will be to rewrite this expression and somehow prove that it's a multiple of 3. So what we're going to do, of course, is to try to make this expression appear inside of this one. And the way to do that is to factor the 10 out of this term and that term. And that's what we did here. Now notice all we are missing from here is the plus 1. So we're going to add a 1 here inside the parentheses. Now, of course, when we do that, we change the value of this right-hand side. In particular, we added an extra 10 times 1 is 10. So to get the same value back, we're going to subtract 10 again and then keep the plus 1. When we simplify this, we remember that this expression was already proved to be equal to 3k for some integer k, so we replace it here. And then we simplify minus 10 plus 1 to minus 9. And now we're almost done because this term is a multiple of 3, that term is a multiple of 3, so we can factor out the 3 here. We're going to be left with 10k, and we factor out the 3 here, we're going to be left with minus 3. So we get 3 times 10k minus 3. Now since k is an integer, 10k minus 3 is also an integer. Let's call it k prime. So this is equal to 3 times k prime, where k prime is the integer 10k minus 3. Well, now we just proved that this expression is equal to 3 times k prime, where k prime is an integer, so this is equivalent to saying that this expression is evenly divided by or divisible by 3. And that's the end of our inductive step, which together with our basis step completes our proof of this theorem by induction on N.